we're going to get started in a few minutes. I have this picture up. We did this last week, and I went and got a frame at Hobby Lobby, and believe it or not, this was $12.99. I really got a good buy on it. They were having a sale. I guess they're getting rid of some of their inventory. I was kind of scared when I went there because it looked to me like they were closing, but I don't know. You know, they're just probably not getting in their products. But this was what we did last week, and I thought I'd just put it up there for everyone to see how nice the frame was and everything with that painting. Really looks nice. So needless to say, I bought a few frames for paintings. But, okay. I just wanted to show you that. Let me put my light on. Get a better idea. So this is our painting. I have it traced out. This is what we're going to be doing. I got this off of Pittsburgh, and this is the heron we're going to do. I really thought he was pretty interesting looking. Even though he's white, it kind of just like the shading throughout this is really interesting in the background. We can do a lot with that. So, hopefully everybody's doing well. And the COVID that we're staying healthy and safe. I worry because I have to work, and I have a few days off with the holiday and everything, but I do work part-time, and I'm with the public all the time, and they're not very conscientious about their masks and everything. And we're very close to the person too, because I'm a stylist, so I'm cutting hair and doing washes and you know, shampoos, and it scares me, but we're open, so that's, you know, that's the way it is, I guess. So I believe it's almost 10 o'clock. I just want to wait. Yeah, I want to wait for a little bit and see who stops by, and then we'll get started. I hope you're doing good. Sure, Shannon. Thanks for stopping. I really appreciate it. I'm going to put my air conditioning on a little bit because it's getting very warm. In the studio with the lights and stuff. So, now I'm filming this also so that I can put it up, because it's kind of hard to see that narrow piece here. It's just, you know, it's hard to get a really close up of it. With my camera, I can do that, get a little closer. As long as I don't get in the way, because the way this is set up, I may get in the way a little bit. I'm just going to move my table a bit. Oh, there goes my paints. There goes my paints. Okay, we still got a couple minutes yet. So, yeah, let me see if I can move this just a tad more. There we go. That'll give me a little bit more room. I'm very very confined in my little space here. It's a heron Shore Shannon show. It's a heron. Uh, I don't know if you've ever seen these. I did one years ago in pastel. It was a blue heron, and I had an exhibit at the library, and it's in Mount Lebanon in Pittsburgh. And someone liked it so much that they bought the photo of, or the painting. Yeah, herons. I think they're interesting little birds. Or they're not quite little, I guess. They're probably more. I would think that. Well, we've had some herons up this way too. They're not as pretty as this one that I've seen. They're kind of gray looking. I don't know if like further south if you get the more colors with them or not. Hi, Alicia. How are you? Oh, thank you for visiting. I'm glad you're here. And I was just saying we are going to be doing a painting on the heron. Um, it looks like it's about 10 o'clock. And I am going to get started, I think, with this now. So the bird is white. I'm going to show you the picture again. He's white, but if you look at this very closely, you're going to see maybe some purplies and grays in throughout his feathers. And there's actually some orange up through here, which may be a reflection from his beak. And the background is kind of distorted. It's a little, because the focus, I guess, when the photographer took this was basically on the heron. So the background's a little bit blurred. So we're going to figure something out with that as we paint. But we'll have fun with this, and it might take a few hours. I'm not sure how long. Last week I was here about 2.5 hours. But I did put the painting up, and I did show this at the beginning. So let me show that again. We did this painting last week. I'll show you the painting with the drama mask. And then I went to Hobby Lobby and I found this frame. These were very expensive frames. Like it was close to $40 this frame. I got it for $12.99. I don't know if Hobby Lobby is going out of business or if they're just getting rid of their frames, but it looked like they kind of went and downsized their framing. So I thought it really looked nice with that frame. So I always look for frames that are on sale, and when I find them, I buy them. So I bought about 3 of them. They were all on sale. One was $10. Two were $12.99. So it's always nice when you get a bargain, right? All right, so we're going to start out. I'm going to start up here. There's a little bit of blue in here. We're going to move to the green and the yellows down through here. And this is sort of like an orangish color. So I kind of came up with these shades. Naples Yellow. I have light blue. And I have phthalo yellow green, which I think we're going to kind of get in through here. So those are the 3 colors we're going to start out with, which are basically your primary colors if you look: yellow, blue, and green. So it's always nice to use those primary colors. And I don't have a camera on my palette. I use a piece of glass, and I can clean that off pretty easily from each week to week, and it's just easier to use. But I hope I am going to be able to have a setup pretty soon where I can split and show you what my palette is doing, what I'm doing with my palette. So we're going to start out with this blue. I want to see how this looks on the canvas. If it's a little too light, we might go with a darker blue. And I'm not mixing anything in it. It's just going to be straight out light blue permanent. Okay. Now let's see what brush. Because I'm going to be blending this a little bit, I'm going to start out with a softer brush. And I think I'm going to see how this one works. This is a bright number 12, and it's a Simply Simmons brush. Simply Simmons. And what's that? That's Tar Heel Blue. Okay. Whatever you say. I'm not exactly sure what color that is, but now I'm just going to start here. And we're going to have to work fast because, you know, acrylics, I use acrylic paint and it dries quickly. So we'll get some of this in. And I always paint my sides. Now, sometimes I will do an underpainting, but today I am not doing an underpainting. I'm kind of just going with it as it comes out here. So I'm going to go with my yellow green. And I'm not even rinsing out my brush or anything. I'm just kind of blending that right in. And this brush may not be the one I want to use because this has to be really, really something that blends easily. And I don't know. Let's see. Kind of blend it over here. Bring it. Yeah, I don't like that one. That's not working for me. It's not working for me. Oh, let's see. Well, I'm going to go to my trusty blue here. I mean, my trusty number 6. I always like this brush. It's a bright, I don't know. I got this at Packetans years ago. And it just seems to work out real nice for me. So we'll see how this works. I'll have to probably go over that because, of course, that blue blending in there looks pretty cool. And we'll just keep on putting this paint on, watching that we don't get it into the bird. Just kind of bring it into some of those feathers so that the background, it goes into that. And there's more blue as it goes down in here, a little bit more. Now, the hardest thing when I started painting was to paint from pictures. Now I got this off of Pixabay, this picture, and I could never paint from pictures. I started painting when I was about 11, so it's been a long time since I've been doing this, and I took an art class when I was in college. I went to college later in life. I was like in my 30s when I went to college. Because it's never too late to go, you know. And let me just kind of blend this a little bit better. I'm going to get my little blending brush here. This is a little mop. So just kind of softly go over this. Get it blended real nice. That looks real good now. And I took some art classes. I almost minored in art. I went to a Catholic college, so I ended up minoring in theology. But I always take classes, even if it's online. I'm always trying to learn new things. And I decided to go to the community college, which is very close to where I live, and I think I got my minor because I took a lot of classes, and it really helped me a lot as far as painting from pictures and trying to you know, do these things that I'm doing. And you know, you just learn. You keep practicing and you learn. It's amazing. As time goes on, you just get better and better at what you're doing. Now, I'm applying some yellow here. As it gets over into this area, it's more yellow. And some of that Naples Yellow. This is just Cad Yellow Medium. Cad Yellow Medium. still using my number 6. If you hear that scraping, that's my Sally dog here. She's trying to fluff up the carpet, which is not going to happen because this is like it's not a carpet you can move. So, okay, I'm going to blend that again some more. Just lightly blend it, you know, you don't have to just blend it up. Right in here, we're going to blend it too. All right, let's get some more of this green in here. Don't forget, I always do paint my sides because there's lots of times when you don't want to put a frame on your painting, and these are gallery wrapped, so it just kind of makes them nice. But this is an 11 by 14 canvas, by the way. I've been painting smaller lately. I do have larger canvases, and I don't know why I'm saving those, but I'm going to add a little white to this. Now, I have liquid acrylic paint. It's by Master's Touch, and guess where I got that? Hobby Lobby. It seems to be my favorite store. Well, I was teaching there for a while, actually, before the COVID, but I stopped teaching because I don't want to be around people too much. I have to be around people in my job, so little hair here. Just lightening this up a bit. Now I'm going to get that Naples Yellow and start putting that in also. Kind of just lightening this up a bit. Getting ready for that Naples Yellow to blend in. All right, I'm going to put the Naples Yellow out. I always like to get my backgrounds in first. It just, I didn't rinse my brush. It just kind of helps me to see where I'm at with my painting, and it helps me with that dimensional part of the painting. You know, it just, I'm wiping my brush. I'm not going to clean it in water or anything. I just kind of want to clean it. Now that's pretty cool, that color. Kind of just looks like that. We're not going to paint the back, you know, the plants that are in there. I'm going to do something different here. Okay, now we want to blend that a little bit up into this piece. Just lightly pulling it up. Oh, thank you, Alicia. Am I saying that right, Alicia? I hope so. Do I draw in Photoshop? No, I do not. Which I wished I could do that, but I don't have the capabilities like I would, you know, like a tablet that I can use, that I could draw from. I'm actually working on a book my daughter has written. She wrote a few books, well, she's written a couple books. This one is called Summer Vacation. You can get this on Amazon. I did some of the drawings in there, and you see what I'm doing now? That's exactly how I drew for this. And I'm working on her second book that's a series of this. And it takes me a long time because I'm painting each picture by hand instead of going into Photoshop. And it would be nice to have one of those little tablets that you can draw on, you know. I think like X Pen has one. I'm not sure. There's a few places that, or a few that have that where you can actually see how you're doing your drawings. Going on the sides here to make sure I get that. But yes, I do not do that. Yeah, the Wacom uh, is kind of that's the other one, and then X Pen, that's another one, and it's a nice little tablet too, because you can actually see what you're drawing. Now I believe that Wacom also has one of those. Now, do you have one of those? Do you own one of those? Yeah, we we do have some interesting. I think they took after me a little bit. I'm not a writer. She did take writing. My older daughter up in college. Now my youngest daughter is also an artist type personality. I tend to be more of a realistic painter. Now, my daughter, she'll think out of the box, my youngest one, and she comes up with these great things. I'm telling you, it's just amazing. And she'll think out of the box. It's always different, and I think that's pretty neat. I'm more realistic, and I tend to, constantly do that, more realism. Okay, this is pretty neat. Okay, so we're going good here. I'm going to get down, I'm going to add a little white down here, and we're going to put that Naples Yellow down here, but I want it to be a little lighter. And then it can get a little darker as it goes up. But I really, after I retired, I really went full steam ahead with painting. I had been painting, but it was kind of hard when you're working. You know how it is. You're tired when you get home, and I would try to paint on weekends. And I was doing a lot of pastel at the time. I want to kind of keep that green because we're going to be doing his beak in yellow, so get that. Yeah, so let's see, any other questions? Yeah, I'd like to get one of those tablets too. Like if you go on Mercari, you can find some pretty good deals on that. They're expensive. The tablets are very expensive, unfortunately. Um, yeah, it's kind of sad. Everything's expensive in art. Uh, Now, I have the tracing, which will be available on Patreon for $1. If you join on a monthly basis, you can access those. I've been trying to get something set up for like people that subscribe to the Patreon for $5. They get like a special lesson that I wouldn't be teaching here. A little more difficult. If you like to paint, that's... I have one set up already, but it's been kind of hard since I've been working too. It's just part-time. Sometimes you work part-time and you work more hours than you think. I work about 20 hours a week. Okay, let's see here. I want to get some of that blue, more of that blue in there. Let me see. I'm going to add a little white to it just to kind of lighten it up. Get it in here. That might be too light. But since the green kind of overshadowed it, just get through here a little bit. And there's some blue right in here. Almost going right to his beak. Okay, I'm going to soften this. Well, the X Pen, I got to tell you, you got to check that out. It's a lot more reasonable than the Wacom or Wacom or whatever they call it. And you got to check that out. It's called an X Pen tablet. And you can actually see what you're doing. Like some of the Wacoms, you can't, you know, like it's really hard. Like if you're looking at your Wacom and trying to get it onto the monitor, you really have to practice to get that right. It just looks like it's really, really difficult to get it on there. Now, I don't know if Wacom has come out with a tablet that you can actually see what you're doing on the tablet, which I think is a better way of doing things, because a lot of people will sell those, and I think that's the reason why they're selling them, because it's kind of hard to coordinate yourself with the monitor and Photoshop all at the same time. Now I'll work on my background till I get it the way I want it, so I think this looks pretty good. Get a little green in through here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I am going to get one of these, if I have one handy, my drawer here. Okay, this is a little dauber. So I'm going to kind of make some little circles in here, and it's going to look like what do they call, oh my goodness, I can't think of what they call this now. But it kind of will look like a photographer made little, well, I know I've done it before. Boy, my brain is just real good today. I'll blame it on the heat. How's that? We're going to have a real heat wave here over the weekend, all in the 90s. It's going to be very, very warm for the holiday. Okay, so I'm just going to stick these on. Well, that might not be dark enough, so we're going to have to get some darker. Let me get some darker green. That's right. That's how you spell it. Oh, yeah, bokeh. That's it. I'm sorry. Boys, I'm glad somebody's here that understands this. So you put these in here, and it kind of looks like it gives that bokeh effect. And so let me get some of that lighter. Get some white on that too. And we'll put it up through here. And you can overlap them. Like that. Get some blue. Kind of just, even though you can't see these in here, we know that they're there. Even a couple in through here, just to give it that little effect. Now you don't want to go overboard with this, just kind of giving it an effect. And that kind of makes that image look a little bit more blurred. A lot of noise going on outside. I'm surprised Sally's not barking. She usually starts barking when she hears all that. But because the windows are closed, it's kind of easier to... Okay, so I'm going to put my sponge in my water because I don't want that to dry on there. And I can also have this little blending brush here, since I'm just going to go around these so that very lightly they blend in a little bit better. Everything has to blend very nicely. There we go. All right, so far so good. Now we'll start working on Mr. Heron. Now, just in case you're wondering, I'm here every Thursday. Yeah, that's something new, something different. I love doing that effect. It just kind of makes things look more blurred, and it's kind of a nifty little thing to help you out. So, yeah, so I'm here every Thursday at 10. And I don't know, next week, I know in a couple weeks I'm going on vacation, so I might not be here that week, but I'll let you know. I know I'll be here next week. Normally I have my grandkids, but since this COVID, I don't have them. So I'm going to get a little bit of purple gray, or gray purple. Purple is always a nice color to put into your painting. And I am going to put some of that, I will show you where, and I'm going to add a little bit of gray to that purple to make it even more so. I'm going to grab a little bit of the gray and a little bit of the purple and just mix it. Okay. Get a nice purpley gray. I don't know if you can see that. And I am going to put it right in this bunch of feathers. He's quite gray here. And I'm using my brush on the side. I'm not using it flat. I'm holding it vertically. Now I'm doing it flat here, just to kind of give that look that it's feathery. So I'm going to get in all my gray areas. First. Got a lot of this gray area in throughout his air around his eye. So I'm kind of like dry brushing this. I do that quite a bit in my paintings. I'll dry brush, especially if I'm doing the underpainting, just so that it kind of gives that feathery effect. Changing directions here. These feathers at the tips are very, very purpley gray. Yeah, I was always afraid to paint from a photo. I always was afraid of that. Oh, thank you. Let's see. Oh, you're in California and working from home. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, get your cup of coffee. Well, I'm glad you joined us, Alicia. Thanks for coming in, and maybe we'll see you next week. Hopefully. That'd be great. Well, have a good day. Yeah, my daughter's working from home. My older daughter's working from home. My youngest daughter is working at work. They both work at Pittsburgh University, and my youngest daughter had to go in. So now what just gonna put some of this in here very lightly. Uh, Now we're not gonna make his feathers totally white. We don't want to do that. You know, you never make it totally white. So we'll probably make it some sort of a grayish white color, only just because that's always what I've been taught. You never put straight white out on eyes. You know, there's like a bluish shade or a grayish shade that goes in with that. And I thought that that was kind of interesting when I learned that. And okay, now up in here, up at this part right here, it's kind of orangey looking. So I'm gonna get, well, I'm gonna put the white that I mix down. What I plan on doing is mixing a white with a touch of that bluish gray, just a touch, because we do not want to have to. And I'm going to mix that with a palette knife. Now, I usually use a palette knife like this. I like this one. It just helps me to mix it a little bit better. Get some room here on my palette. And get some of that bluish gray. See how this looks. It's actually a purpley gray, I should say. It's such a light gray. Now I just wiped my brush off. I didn't put it in water. And we're just gonna kind of get some of that in. See, it actually looks light. Interesting, isn't it? We're gonna go out sideways here. I might be using a rake brush, I'm not sure yet. Now look at how that like underneath just comes through. Isn't that neat? I mean, that's really nice. Looks good. And that shading. And when this dries, when it gets even more dried, we'll put more white on that area and it'll just really kind of bring that out. We'll put the feathers up. Got to get some more. I got to get a smaller brush. I might actually use one of those rake brushes. I'm not sure yet. Okay, I see a little area that I want to put some of that gray in. Right in here. I love doing animals. I find that it's just a lot more fun than doing people. I don't know why I don't like doing people. I've done people before. I'm not really a portrait artist, but I just enjoy doing animals. If you check out some of the paintings on my channel, I've got a lot of animals there. I've done a horse, and that turned out really, really nice. And I did an elephant. I kind of want to keep the idea going with the concern for the animals being extinct, becoming extinct. because of poachers, and this world is really a crazy place anymore. It's sad, you know, you just... Now I'm kind of like, tapping this paint in the way these feathers are going. Okay. Just kind of like tapping it in, bringing them over that gray area. It looks sort of like a zebra right now. Around his face, there's a lot of that yellow going on, so just gonna kind of hit it with a little bit more white here. Yeah, that one video you had at that what was that, Comic-Con? That was really nice. Very nice video. Really enjoyed seeing that. I've never been to one of those. They seem like they would be really a lot of fun. Meet a lot of the people that have been in these movies and comics depictions and stuff. I think it would be kind of fun. So we get one coat on. Just kind of put the rest here. Now because this paint, this white is like a very translucent kind of paint. Some of this shows through more, so we're gonna take another coat to it. Maybe something a little lighter white. Okay, let me get my Naples Yellow. And kind of put some of that up in here. I think I want that a little darker actually. So I just might get some orange. And let's get some white in here so we can get that. Details here. Details. Got my shadowies in there. Now right by his beak, it's kind of light. Just add a little more white to this. Kind of get this. And add a little bit of the purpley gray here and get some of that in here. Just tap it in there. Mix it up a bit more here. There's a lot of this that goes in through here. So I'm just tapping it in very lightly, getting some of that in there. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. That's always so nice, to be able to see somebody. The only person I ever saw that really was interesting in life was Magnum, uh, Tom Selleck. My daughter, we went to Hawaii when that program was being filmed, and my daughter, she's funny. This was my older daughter. My youngest daughter wasn't born yet, and it was the last day we were going to be there, and she kept telling everybody she was going to Hawaii to meet Tom Selleck. She knew she was going to meet him, and she, it was funny because she did. We did. I mean, it was the last day. We were actually going to get our boarding passes, and we saw uh, the trailer, and it was right by where we were staying, and so we stood there and watched it. And the moment that they stopped filming, I told her, I says, okay, this is probably better if you do this. You go over and get his autograph. So she went over that where he was standing, and they shooed her away, the security. Well, she started crying because she wanted to meet him so bad. And I'm sure he thinks it was me that wanted to meet him. I could have cared less. I mean, I liked him and everything, but um, I, I just wanted her to because she was so into it. So um, she went over, and the security people chased her out, and she started crying, and all these people that were there, they start going, oh. Well, he heard that, and he got her, and for about 5 minutes he was talking to her. And I thought that was so cute. So she got his autograph, and we went back to the hotel to change because we were standing out there for so long. I mean, it was just like, ugh, so hot. We went back to where they were filming, and I met his stunt double, and he told us to sit like right in a certain section that we would be in the filming. Well, that I thought the way they filmed that it was like a half hour. It seemed like it was forever, and it was like a matter of seconds. You can hardly see us. That's how fast it went, and it was just a good experience for her. We have a picture of him with her, and I have a picture of me with the stunt double. People were asking me if I was an actress because I was sitting in the thing. I thought, yeah, right. I just, was lucky to like meet the stunt double, and yeah, it was really cool. So when we came back home, we had the pictures to prove that she got to meet him, which and plus she was on the program, so it all was kind of neat. Very interesting how that happened. Many years ago. Well, she was only like 5 years old at the time. So now I'm just adding some shading around here, around his beak here. It's a little dark in through here. Very dark in here. So I just want to get that kind of darkness in there. I'm just using the tip of my brush. I don't know what it is about this brush, but I really like it. And I use it quite often in my painting. I have another one that's kind of ruined from me using it so much. So that was my experience at meeting somebody that was important. we actually got to meet Dawn Ho too at the time. You know, when you're little, you get to see people just think you're cute. And my daughter is very pretty. She has blue eyes, and uh, you know, like, it's striking. So both my daughters are very pretty. I have to say, I'm not just, you know, I guess I'm biased on that, but she got to be up on stage with Dawn Ho, and we went and got a picture with Dawn Ho, and he liked her so much he brought her up on stage. She had a line to say and everything, and that was pretty cute. I got a picture of that too. And I think that was probably the last time I went to Hawaii. I'd been there 3 times. Oh, I just love it there. It's just so beautiful, and I'm sure it's so different now, but very commercialized now. It was starting to get very commercialized then. Okay, so basically we got a lot of the underpainting here done. I'm going to get some more of that grayish purple in there. I want some right in through here, kind of jaggy here. Just kind of showing some of the way these feathers are going here. Like a shadowy effect here, right in through here. See, when you use the dry brush, you almost get that effect on its own, you know. I'm going to put more white out on my canvas, or my palette, and kind of just go over this now. And I want to kind of get some of those feathers coming off of here. I'm going to get my white and dry brush here. See if I can get that. And then maybe I'll even get my, I got that kind of where I want it. Let me see here. My fan brush. I'm going to get my fan brush, put it in the white paint. This is straight white, even though I don't like using it, but I want this to show up because this bird is very white in some places. Okay, we're gonna kind of come down this way. Just adding feathers. Now I don't have that much paint on my brush either, so yeah, 3 times. I was very lucky. I went with my parents, and my now ex didn't want to go, so I went. I had fun. I enjoyed myself. I hated leaving there. I just felt it was just like a place that you want to stay. I mean, you get rainbows every day. It was gorgeous. It was just gorgeous. Now, of course, I don't even have the money to go there. Of course not now, you know. Yeah, those were nice times. We enjoyed ourselves. Now I don't even travel. Well, of course, we can't travel really now, but still, you know. Now those feathers are starting to shape up. It's looking like feathers. Might get some coming out there. Okay, let's get this brush. And get some of that coming out a little bit here. Because he's got feathers everywhere. I mean, it's just, but they're laying down more here. Yeah, it was pretty, well, I guess back then it wasn't as expensive as it is now to go. We would go through touring companies, you know, and we'd only like get to stay a week, which wasn't a whole lot of fun. Okay. I want to get more white in through here. Yeah, it was nice. I missed that time. It was just such a beautiful place. But of course, you know, we went in there and took over on everything. And it's sad because it's like everything else that we do as Americans, we seem to go in and take over and make people's lives harder. Have to adapt to our ways, which, you know, like they lose their culture. Okay. Now instead of using a fan brush, you can also use a let's see, one of these types of brushes that have like the little edges here. And what you do is you kind of go into your paint and you push your brush down to separate those hairs. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm just going into my white and I'm going to make these little feathery things here. And you can see how that, I call it a rake brush. I don't know what the proper name is, but it just is amazing how this kind of works. See, it's pulling out just what we want. Going over this. And then you just add more paint when it starts to wear itself out. Kind of just giving it that extra feathery look. Either way, whatever one you have, you could use, I mean, what you like. It's all up to you too, you know, like what type of look you're wanting. I'm going to go into my gray white and get a little bit more gray to it. And kind of getting a little bit more dark in through here towards his beak. And it's kind of really dirty and through here looking, you know, so see how that rake is just pulling those feathers, making it look more interesting. Okay, now I'm going to go into my white again. Oh, beautiful sunsets to draw. I actually, when I was taking my classes at Carlo, that's where I went, Carlo. It was Carlo College at the time, and it's now Carlo University. When I was taking my painting class, I did a few, well, there was a few that I did, that few paintings we were doing in oil, and I did a few of those paintings that I took pictures of. And my daughter has the one that met Tom Selleck, because, like I said, my youngest daughter didn't get a chance to go. I'm hoping now that she's married, she does a lot of traveling with her husband, but with this COVID, they can't do too much. I'm hoping, stand back, oh yeah, that looks pretty cool. I'm going to get some orange because I want to do his beak. And I didn't get that out, so I'm going behind my wall where I have some orange paint. And this is just totally colored orange. It's just orange. Okay. Yeah, that was so nice too. The sunsets were amazing. And every day it rained, just a little bit. It was like a tropical storm. And every day there was a rainbow. I could not believe it, how gorgeous that was. Now we were on Waikiki, and we did take a little side trip to Maui, and oh, that was awesome too. We went to, I don't know what the name of it was, but it's like the altitude is higher. And it was so hot when we got on the bus, but by the time we got to the top where we were going, it was cold. We had to have, you know, jackets on. And they said that there was all rocks, big rocks and everything. And they said that that was where the astronauts trained for the moon landing, because it was similar to the moon's surface. It was amazing. Now, I didn't go to the Big Island. Unfortunately, we weren't able to go to that, but we did go to the to Maui, which was very nice, very pretty there too. I wished we could have stayed there a little bit longer. It would have been nice to be able to do that. So I have some orange and yellow that I'm mixing here for the beak. And right in there, it's a little darker, so I want to get that darkness. And same here underneath. It's a little bit darkened through here, but I want to just get major stuff in. And I'm using a number, gosh, I don't even know, number 4 bright bristle for this. I actually want to go and get some raw sienna also, or burnt sienna. Behind the wall here is where I'm working on my book paintings. So that's secretive. So I got some raw sienna, and I use this is a heavy body Master's Touch. I really like this paint. I like the Master's Touch that is regular paint. It's just a little too runny for me. So I really enjoy using that one. Now I'm rinsing out my brush that I just had, that little bright bristle brush, and I'm picking up my raw sienna, not mixing anything, and I'm just kind of going in here underneath, and it comes around. Now there will be a little bit of gray through that too. Oop, my brush bristle. So once we get this in, just kind of getting the dark areas. So I'm going to go with my gray, a little bit of gray, just dry, and then we'll go over it a little. Well, somebody's out there carrying one. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to get a liner. Boy, we're going to use a lot of brushes today. This is a small number 4 liner, kind of a little thick round brush. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to wet this, and I am going into my gray, straight gray. And I kind of put this to a nice point, because here, in through here, just want to tap it in. And that shouldn't be that much paint on there. Tap it in, because around this here, and we're gonna have to like just tap it, because it is gonna just tap it around the eye, tapping it in. I'm just tapping it in because we need that color, but we don't need it to be real heavy here. Yeah, somebody's out there. They're like laughing anyways. Not sure what's happening there. I'm going to go into that raw sienna, and kind of tap in a couple little things here too. A little bit in through here, little kind of brownish things that are going on here. And right against the beak is more of this raw sienna, right against the beak. I'm going to try to draw a line if I can. Got this pretty wet, because you want to kind of draw a nice straight line, which I always have a hard time with. I'm not good at straight lines, I'll tell you. I sell all my paintings. If you're interested, I will have a link at the bottom where you can reach me. I have some on Etsy, which I have to update my Etsy place. I haven't been able to do that for a while, so I need to do that. But yes, I sell my paintings if you're interested. Everything helps me to buy more products for my classes here. Yeah, you can support me on Patreon, whatever, you know. Okay, now I'm going to go into my white with my brush that has the little jaggies here. Just kind of get some of that. And I'm actually going to go into some of that yellow, Naples Yellow, with that white on my brush. Not rinsing anything, because I want those little hairy things to show. And right in here, there's like a lot of that yellowish shade. Yellow and gray, basically. So, now one of the things I want to do too, I want to go into my green again, because right up here, this has to be really sharp here. So I'm going into my yellow green, kind of just going in here to be sharp. I want that to be very sharp. Just kind of goes into that. We'll bring out some of those feathery things with this raked brush. Kind of just going over some of those darker pieces. Getting some of that brown on here. Raw sienna, kind of getting this here a little bit. He may be discolored if this is where he eats, you know, it gets on the fur, it gets on the feathers. And it is much darker in through here. So when you do this, you have to press real hard on your, you can hear me, I'll show you what I'm doing. You get your paint, you get it on your brush, and you pounce it, almost taking it all off, but that gives that bristles, they spread apart. And that's what you want. You want those bristles to spread apart. Go. That looks pretty good right there. Okay, I'm going to get my little round brush again. And right here where it kind of goes in like this, it's very dark here. His little beak has that little air hole. I guess that's where he breathes, right? That would be where he breathes. Okay, and then on the tip, the very tip of his beak, very light. Very, very light. So we're going to just put some light here. There's some light in through here. And it kind of just goes there. Also some light in through here. So I'm just using some white because I have some of that other color, you know, the sienna on my brush. So it doesn't show stark white. We don't want it stark white. But we want it to show like there's like some sun on it. Okay. Now, let me get this back here, the orange. Rinse that out now, because I want this to be more white in here too, because it's actually the feathers kind of going into that. But right in here, we want to just kind of dot that a little. Okay. Right here, there's like a little shimmer. Just wipe that out. Lots and lots of light through here. And lots of light in through this area. And it comes in here. So I'm just going to tap it in because it's not like distinctive white. It's more like tapped in. Just tapped in like. Same here. Same with this. Just want to tap it in so that it doesn't look so stark. And with this number 4 round here, this is a short-handled brush that I'm using. Yeah, he's shaping up. He's starting to shape up. Okay, I'm going in with my sienna. And I'm just going to kind of get that a little bit better here. And right here. I'm going to go into my yellow and tap some of that in around the eye. And I'm going to actually put some white in there with it. Get that white again and then just put some of that yellow in. Hi Grayscale. Hi. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I missed your stream yesterday. I was working with my daughter. She wanted us to paint something, and we were working outside. She, because the actual canvas that she's working on is huge. So we went outside, and when I came in, it kind of was too late. I just was so tired from her. So, yeah, I missed you. But we're painting a heron today. Just kind of getting this colors in. All right, now I'm going to go for the eye. So around the eye, it's kind of a gray blue right around the eye. So I'm going to take my blue and my gray and mix some of that. And get this in here. Very lightly with my round brush, just going around the socket area of this sweet bird, sweet heron. And he's got more going here. I'm taking this very, very slow. Ooh. Very close. Okay. All right, I'm gonna rinse that out. Okay. go for my yellow. And this is going to be the bright yellow. I've got too much paint still in my brush. Okay. So we're going to go for the yellow. I'm going for the Naples Yellow too, so basically everything I have here is in that Naples Yellow color, so that yellow kind of almost looks stupid. It's too bright. So we'll just go with that like this. So what did you paint yesterday, Grayscale? Oh, what happened? Your message got retracted. Well, thanks, Grayscale. It is coming along nice. I have to show you this painting that we did last week. I had it at the beginning. I bought a frame for it. And I got this at Hobby Lobby. And look at how nice that is. Doesn't that look great in that frame? These drama masks, I thought that turned out really nice in the frame too. It looks really pretty. But I loved that frame when I saw it. I said, oh, that's perfect for the drama mask. And they were having a sale, so I got a really good deal on it. It was a $40 frame, and I got it for like $12.99. So needless to say, I was quite happy. Quite happy. All right, now there's a lot of white in this eye. So I'm going to put some white in here first, in this section here. Kind of got to get my gray back in there. Alright, I'm going to go into my yellow, my Naples Yellow. And I'm just pulling it from the outside in. And actually, I'm just going to put it to that point right there. Okay. Now his eye is black. So I have my little Posca pen. We're going to put the black inside the eye with that. We're going to see how that looks. And then we'll put the highlights in once it all dries. Okay. Alright, so we're going to, with my rake brush, I'm going to get a bigger rake brush. This is a number, it doesn't have it on there. Oh, it's a 1/2-inch rake. So I'm going to use that for more feathers. And once again, I'm going to tap it in like that just to get those pushed apart. You want to push them apart. And just put some white highlights here because you want to get those highlights in on these feathers. And this rake brush will help you do that. I've got to get a little drink here. I wonder what Grayscale said. That's too bad it got retracted. I don't know. It's weird on here. That happened to me too on Diane's stream. And then I wasn't allowed to comment at all. I couldn't comment at all. I don't know. Our freedom of speech is going haywire too. Yeah, look at how that's starting to shape up with this brush. I love this brush. It's like one of the ones I use constantly when I'm doing hair or feathers. Put more of these in here. Some that goes up this way, some that goes down. You got to get these feathers in here because it really helps to make this stand out more. And I'm using white, pure white, because of the undercoat here is a little bit darker, so we're able to use the white. We want it to stand out, so this white will help it. We got that nice tone underneath there too. Yeah, he's looking cute. I like him. He's looking real nice. When I step back, you always got to step back a little bit just to see where you're at and where you're coming from, to make sure that, you know, it's not getting too goofy looking or anything. And just adding these few little highlights, it just really brings it out. I can go into my gray a little bit too and put some of these as a gray bunch right in through here because it is darker through there. And I kind of killed it a little with that. So we'll just get some dark ones too. These can come out this way. And I think I'm going to get my fan brush. Kind of pull some of those feathers that are gray out. See if we can get that grayness. Maybe we need a little bit more gray. With a dry fan, just a dry fan. Okay, there we go. Now that looks funny right now, but once I put some white on top of that, it'll blend it real nice. You'll get to see it a little bit better. There we go. Oh yeah, that's good. Getting a little bit more shadow in there. get into some of my, oops. Well, I hate when my brushes fall into my paint. Get some of this Naples Yellow and put some right in here. A little bit in there. I'll add some white to that. Just kind of blending that a little bit more. Okay, what I'm going to do is just kind of go in with my white on top of that and highlight it a little bit. I picked up a little bit of the Naples Yellow also. So we'll let that dry a little, then we'll come back. There is some Naples Yellow there. And it's okay here too. We'll put some of that in there, kind of just giving it a little bit more pizzazz. Pizzazz. All right. Well, I don't think there's too much more I can do with this. I think I got everything that I needed on here. Oh, big glob of paint there. Would like to kind of get this a little bit better here. There we go. Maybe pull some of this out right in here. Just to show that they are feathered in there. Just kind of pull that up a bit. Okay, I think we have a completed painting now. Yeah, it looks nice. Oh, I gotta put the highlights in. Let me get, okay, I have this old handled brush that I lost the ferrule, so I'm just gonna go in with that. Now, I don't want too much on here. The highlights kind of come down this way, so don't know if it's gonna do what I want. Let me see. I'll just get a little brush, just a little teeny weeny. This brush here is a little detail 5/1. I'll just get a little bit of paint, white paint on that, and just bring it down. Like that. Not so much in that area there. Let's see. I mean, for that to really show, I guess I have to have that other part darker. So let me get that a little darker up there. Right in here. And mix a little yellow and a white. Just a tad of yellow. Kind of have it. Okay. still need that darker. Needs to be dark around his eyes so it pops out. And kind of goes all the way around now that I'm looking at it. Looks much better. And let's get more around this hair area. So that it really does pop out. Okay, more yellow and white. Eyes are very difficult, and you always want them to make sure they are bright and they pull, you know, like they look dimensional. Very, very important when you're painting eyes. Eyes are the, you know, the soul of anybody, even in birds. Windows to the soul. And we'll just blend that in like that, giving it a little bit more pop. I'm going to get this hair section right in here. Should be a little bit more too. Blend it better here. Gotta get it blended a bit. Okay, now let's get this yellow and white. Pull that in. Pull it in. Give it some highlight. And here, it's a little too much on my brush. Highlight it here. Okay. Yellow. So eyes can be a little difficult, as you can see. But once you get it, awesome. Okay, so I want to get some yellow around here. This should be more white here anyhow. A little bit more white in here. Get that nice dark gray. All right, now we can put that highlight in where it should be. Okay. All right. Now let me get my rake brush. I still want to get some more highlights here. Right in through here needs to have just a tad more highlight. Here it's kind of dirty looking. I don't want really a lot of highlights, but just getting some of those in there, it's really important. And always your light brings everything forward and your dark pushes it back. So you got to remember that when you're painting. Okay. I'm going to get my fan brush. These are just little things that, you know, to finish the painting. I could putz all day. Oh, thank you, Shannon Show. Oh, it just happens. Oh, hi, Goswina. How are you? Nice to meet you here today. Glad you could stop by. Just adding a few highlights to my little heron. It's not that hard to paint, actually. It's just the details, you know, you want to put the details in and make sure everything is just how you want it. There we go. Yes, I'm very happy with this right now. And I don't want to overdo anything. I mean, it's really coming along. So I'm just going to tap in some highlights here. And I might be able to tap those in with a smaller brush. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to use my bright. It's that number 4 bright bristle. Just get some white on there. Tap it out. Kind of just tap in some more highlights here. Getting the highlights right on those tops of the feathers. A little bit in here. Very nice, very nice. So, are you still working on your mousse, Goswina, or did you finish it? I've been working, and it's so hard for me to watch sometimes. I know I haven't even been able to tune into Artfully Yours with Diana. And I'm always worried I'm going to miss Geo because of the way I work. But I think that's pretty good now. So, yeah, I like the way it turned out. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you enjoyed this. Oh, I see something else. Something else. Honestly, it's amazing when you start to look at things on the picture. I'm going to get some more of my raw sienna here. And right here, it kind of just comes down like that. And there's quite a bit of this going on here, so maybe I'll just add some more of that. It's got this one. Yeah, we got that. And there's a little bit that comes around here like this. Just tapping that in. I'm not really painting it in, I'm just tapping it in. And I think I should put some right in here also, because it's like a little bit that goes on here. This is just a tiny little brush, because I don't want, it's just more detail than anything. He's kind of dirty through here. And I really need to put some more feathery things in there too. I could go on and on, I'm sorry. I'm almost done. Oh. Oh, goodness. That's funny. Okay, so wrong chat, huh? Wrong. I do those things too. I hate if I do something like that with a text message to someone. Oh gosh. I've had issues with that. Okay, I want to highlight that a little bit more. Maybe I'll use my number 6. Just get the edges nice and white. Because there is some white in here. Get that a little lighter. There we go. Some light here. These are just feathers, but I'm just tapping them in so that it kind of gives it a little texture. It is kind of, yeah, you know, you see these things as you're almost ready to stop. So I'm going to get some gray, and I'm doing the same thing here, because I lost my darkness here, and this has to be dark. This kind of gets dark in through here, so just tapping it in there so it is dark. Now his highlights, there's hardly any highlight, but it's right there if you can see it. Okay, now let's get some white. Just kind of tap it. There we go. There. Now that looks a little bit better, because he is a little dirty through here, but yet there's still some highlights in that area. There. Oops. 1, 2. Okay. All right, I'm not going to play with it anymore because I don't want to mess it up. So, let's see. Yeah, that's funny, Grace Gill. I've done that with texting, where I sent the text to somebody else. Thank goodness it wasn't too bad or anything, but yeah, you can really mess it up, you know, mess things up. Just one quick little part right here needs to be another little bit here, and then we'll call it quits. Okay, there. All right, now it's time we can sign it. I'm not going to sign it here. I usually use a pen, like a Posca pen. This one's too thick, so I don't want to use that. But I usually sign mine on my the left side. You can sign it on the right, however, you know, you'd like. It's always good to sign your painting. I used to just use my initials, and then I thought, well, nobody's going to know who that is. So I now do the whole thing. So my whole name, put that in there. So, well, I hope you enjoyed this painting today. And yeah, I think we all do that pretty often. I've done some goofy stuff over last 20 years. Especially with phones. Those phones get on my nerves sometimes. So, but they do come in handy when you're doing your videos. I guess that's a good thing. So, we'll meet you back here next week, next Thursday. And I think the following Thursday I will be on vacation. But we'll be here next Thursday. And we'll finish, well, we'll do something else. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I have to think about it. I'm not sure. I don't know if I like those bokeh effect things or not. I might take those out of here. I might work on this again. You know, like I do that after I'm done. Oh, thank you, Sorciana. I'm glad you showed up and came in and visited, and it's been fun. It's been fun. And I really like the way it turned out. It's so cute. And then once I put a frame on it, sometimes the frame just helps things pop out too, you know. But I think that background could be a little darker or deeper. So that's what I'm thinking, maybe something a little deeper to go with the darker green. So until next time, we'll see you next time. It was fun. And thanks again for stopping in. I appreciate it. It was great talking with everyone. Bye. See you guys.